And we're live. What's
And
going
we're live,
on?
baby.
Yeah, we are live. We are hot and fresh off the presses. Oh, hold on. Let me fix something real quick. For some reason, that loading bar is not supposed to be at 7%. We're at 0.
Yeah.
We're just starting the show. I don't know what's going on.
Get rid of me already, huh?
It's excited. It wants to get started. Welcome to Loading Screen. This is your lunch podcast.
Lunchtime podcast today.
To start your day with, or take a break. McDonald's don't sue me. I didn't say you deserve a break. I said take a break. It's a big difference. But welcome. I am Dre, aka Crash. Of course, with me. I gotta go this way. There we go.
This way?
That guy over there. Yeah, that dude over there. That guy. My partner in crime, Alex, aka Sir Scralex. Final Fantasy extraordinaire, Skyrim extraordinaire, connoisseur, all that good stuff. Yeah, absolutely, man.
Look at you in the nice zip chair, baby.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, presented by Zip Chair and Mike and Ike's, of course. Yeah, mad love to them. Thank you for the. You do have a zip chair. It's just yeah.
Yeah,
show them the back.
That's the whole.
Show them the back.
Oh, look, oh God, my headphones just unplugged.
Hey, there you go. Yeah. Okay, 1 second. You can't hear me?
All right.
There we go. You're looking good. Yeah, you're right. It could be breakfast for some people still, and it definitely still is for you. True Luigi 95 in chat.
True Luigi, the Weedster, as I call him.
Okay. Thank you for joining us. Welcome. We're fresh, man. This is hot take city right now. Hot sandwiches and hot takes. Yes. That's what we're doing. So we are live off of the Xbox, the Inside Xbox Series X games reveal live that just went on. It was.
That's the whole reason we pushed it to 12, guys.
Yes, yeah. Just so you know, guys, we're not late. We were actually ready to go at 11, but we knew the game reveals were coming, so we wanted to jump onto it right off the rip. And yeah. I mean,
we just wanted to. I mean, were you just about to say mixed feelings?
Yes, mixed bag right now, right off the cuff, as to what I'm feeling about it. I know they're doing their whole like post-show interview thing with their personalities, but we're just gonna give you the real opinions right now.
Well, dude, I guess underwhelming could be a good description.
It's a good word. There you go. Use your words.
Of this show. Because E3 normally they showcase like 45 games or like 50 games back to back. We're not in June yet, so there's still potential, but I feel like a lot of big gaming companies will be doing stuff like this. Like we got, I think, what, 1, 2, 3. We got like 10 games from this.
Yeah. Well, even in the talks during it, they alluded that EA's gonna be doing an EA Live event. So they're just gonna show off what they have. What was expected to happen? Excuse me, just bumped my mic. What was expected to happen? What was assumed what was gonna happen was the whole like these developers are just gonna take a page from Nintendo and you're like, all right, just do the situation. We're just gonna go ahead and do our own thing. So maybe that's why this seemed like a little bit of an underwhelming experience, but there were still some jewels. Definitely some jewels in there. Some diamonds in the rough for sure. So we're actually gonna get started. We're just gonna have like trailers on the side while we kind of discuss what we did get a chance to see. So let me just roll this.
I'm excited though, man. I mean, like we got the usual like Dirt 5 and Madden and stuff like that. And I think what Xbox is really strong at is bringing these studios. You bring like a bunch of indie studios. I feel like there's more indie games on Xbox than there are PS5. Not to compare, but more or less like I feel like the indie library for Xbox is bigger, and we got a little taste of it.
Hold up. I actually just realized I went to the wrong one. Hold on. I did not want scoring first. I wanted this one.
We've got
first.
a whole bunch up.
Yeah, there you go.
So this was, I think, like the first one that was revealed.
This is what they started off the riff with. You know, I love looking at chat while these trailers go off, because they some people are throwing names out. You know, some like the one I kept seeing was like, oh, new Crisis. They're like, oh, like Crisis with swords. Got it. I'm like, oh, you know what? That's funny. It could be Crisis-y, because it's like, first of all, it looks amazing. Just the amount of particle effects, light diffusion, like everything that's in here is just like, wow, it looks sick.
Like RTX is utilized right now.
Right? Yeah, it's like, man,
this
entire studio of people that worked on this is probably just like, wow, they just amazing work, right? Like we got everything, we got the time loops, we got airplay, pull you back, physics, stay still, let me slice you in half. All right, cool.
Dude, it's amazing.
It looks dope, right? Yeah, had no idea what it was.
And look, the sword right here, like, oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
I'm with you, man. I had no idea what it was. Me and the guys were in chat on Discord, just kind of like walking through this, talking about it, and we were like, oh, no, this isn't Crisis. And then, I mean, dude.
Then the DeLorean, a goddamn DeLorean just shows up out of nowhere. That's the part that hit me. I was like, okay, this is I'm kind of now just I don't know where to go with this. And it's a girl too. You can tell it's a girl that's being played to, like that's who your character is, because you keep hearing like her grunts and stuff. And I'm like, all right, bet. I have no idea who this is. This is cool. Then it's like, I would hope
Bright Memory Infinite.
Bright Infinite Memory. I don't know, because the name was like weird. It was like titled. It had Bright, then Infinite was there, but it was smaller. But Memory was at the bottom, so I like wrote left to right, top to bottom. I was like, Bright Infinite Memory. He's like, no, Bright Memory Infinite. I'm like, god damn it. Like I'm sorry, this is nitpicking, but I'm like, it's those little small things that I'm just like, seriously, like you didn't think like to kind of arrange your words a little bit differently?
So forgive me, I've never seen this game before ever.
It is a fresh.
Is it a sequel? It's
fresh. It's from a single person. To my knowledge, I didn't go super hardcore, because like I said, we're fresh off of the actual conference itself.
So it's an indie studio.
From what I understand, it's an indie person, like a single person,
which is incredible. To me, I've never seen a game like this made by one person.
Yeah, it's from a Chinese studio. There's I mean, this isn't like unheard of. There's definitely some projects out there that like are that I have seen from indie just developers. And when I mean developers, is really like one person that he is like the person is doing everything from the modeling to the rigging to just the compositing, everything. And it just looks like, wow, this entire studio that worked on this, they're all gifted. And it's like, oh no, it was just one guy.
It was just one guy.
Like what the point of this is also to kind of show like this is like the capabilities, right? Like what you could do now. Right, they were just kind of showcasing what the abilities of one person could do.
It is true.
Which is pretty bonkers. It's a Chinese studio. I just cannot remember the name, but
FYQD.
Thank you, FYQD. Yeah, that was the studio name from China, I believe. And this was just like the way to just like, yo, this is what it can do, which is cool, because the ironic
they started off with like the strongest graphic.
Yeah, this is the ironic part, is that from here, not to take away from the following games that are going to be coming up, but it kind of like dips like outside of like Assassin's Creed and
you're right, it did
like there's
oh baby,
like, okay, I know we're not going to showcase this trailer, but I'm just thinking about it, is the vampire one that they showed off, right? Oh god, the name is so fresh I can't think of it off the top of my dome.
It was literally called Vampire.
Is it Vampire? It's like Masquerade or something, right? The Blood Masquerade or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Everyone was tripping out. I was like, yo, yeah, last gen graphics, because there was nothing new about it, right? But like the trick about it is that, you know, it isn't always about like the better graphics, right? It's just how are they utilizing the horsepower that the new system is going to have to create a new gaming experience.
So going off of this, Hectic Green in chat just posted, was it an alpha that they put, like, it's available on Steam for $10. But I wonder if it's just a demo.
It might be just a port overall.
Early access. Yeah. Combine a wide variety of skills. Okay. So, I mean, the background of this game, and I looked this up right after the show, right after Showcase. Bright Memory Infinite, set in year 2036, when a strange phenomenon in the skies prompts a supernatural scientific research organization, SRO, to dispatch agents to investigate. The agents quickly discover that the events are tied to an ancient mystery.
Okay, so we're gonna have some occult / maybe potential stuff, like, and then, but it's modern, so you got cyberpunkish stuff, because it could explain why you're seeing, like, look at the buildings around it, right? Traditional, Eastern inspired, like, architecture you're seeing there, but then it's like, let me get the semi-auto out, but then I have a blade, right? It's like, it's gonna be combining those two worlds, which is like, it's cool. Like, it's gonna be interesting. It's like, oh yes, you are an old soldier with this crazy armor spirit. Meet lead. It's like an 80s movie.
And let's ride in a DeLorean.
Yeah, exactly. And let's go, Doc. Like, straight up. So let me see. Our next, the next trailer we have going for us here. Let me make sure if I can pull it up real quick. So we're just picking some of the ones from the letter. Yeah, Call of the Sea. This one was a little fun one.
This
that
is
like kind of came in and out.
I thought it was an expansion to Sea of Thieves.
Yes.
Based on the artwork.
Yeah, very colorful, very vibrant.
Yeah. How do you feel about this art style being in a lot of games now?
I'm a fan for animation. Like, when it comes to like this art style, what it screams to me is that like the characters should be very animated, very I think Monkey Island kind of deal, where it's like, this cell shaded style, but it's very animated. There's like a lot of character within the characters. Like, I know it's weird to say, but you could have a really detailed person or a character rendered, but like they're not that animated, right? There's just nothing. There's no life there, right? There's an opportunity to do that here. It looks really good for it.
Looks
still
like a first-person venture.
Oh
mystery.
Yes, it definitely is. It definitely is. But I am definitely a sucker for those kinds of titles that have like a particular art style to them that like helps create their unique identity. Like Journey is is something that I always
It's funny you say Journey.
I always go back to Journey when I talk about like art style, but there has to be a if there's a purpose to it. In that game, that was like the purpose was very much included in the gameplay. Here it's just like an overall very beautifully rendered like world. It's in a jungle. We're gonna see a lot of, I'm assuming, creatures, a lot of life, and then like you said, it looks like it's gonna be some sort of mystery adventure, which also right up my alley, so I'm actually digging it.
I'll probably dive into it. It looks great. I mean,
no pun intended.
The crazy thing about this,
nice.
One of the cool things about this is I'm assuming that most of these games are going to be on Game Pass. So if you have Game Pass and you're subscribed to it, you can pretty much dive into any one of these games, which is cool.
I like what they're doing too, especially with some of the games. I know they had announced it with Madden, like you buy it for Xbox One. Get a copy of it for the next one, which I'm like, oh, that's cool. I wonder if any other developers, any other companies are gonna follow through with it. This was cool, like that little tidbit at the end, Call of the Sea, and then you just like right before it's just like, oh, what's happening here? So maybe we're gonna see a lot of exploring underwater as well. That'll be kind of dope. But yeah, overall, it looks like it'll be a really like, as long as the story is good, if it's written well, there's like, because right now all we know is that she's looking for someone, Harry, right? Harry is like gone missing. Why would you come here? Yeah. What's worth looking for it? And then you're supposed to uncover all of that. But then what are the game mechanics that are going to be involved in it? And then, how is that going to translate to the story? Are we going to like the characters? Yada, yada, yada. Like, those are all the ifs, the whats, the wants. We'll see what happens when it actually does, come out. Yeah. Oh, this bad boy.
So I'm going to let you kind of take this one, because it seems like you have more of a relationship with this.
Yes.
Yakuza.
So I haven't played all the Yakuzas. Like, I've only played like a couple, and even then it's only like for a certain amount of time.
Okay.
Someone else I know is extremely into it. My wife. She's very much into Yakuza. She's just rocking through them all. It's one of those the Yakuza series is one of those like series, if you know about it, then the realness, right? If you know, you know.
Okay.
If you don't know, then you're just outside the circle. Like, it's like you just don't know, you don't get it.
So it's like an exclusive.
Yeah, it's like a weird, not weird, but it's like a club, man. It's like if you played the game, then you know the deal. Like, you know it's fire. Like, and if you haven't played it, you're just like, it looks cool. It's like, whatever. It's so this actually kind of took me by surprise. It took everybody by surprise. I was not expecting a Yakuza entry. This isn't a numeric entry to it. Like, it's not an actual numbered sequel or prequel, because they have both. If it's like a side story. It definitely is a side story, because it's called Yakuza Like a Dragon. So it's like the subtitle to it. So it isn't like Yakuza 7, because right now we're at Yakuza 6 right at the moment.
Okay.
But there's definitely characters, like the character on the left side.
Are those PS5 exclusive or PS4 exclusives?
No, they're all on PC.
They are. Okay.
Yeah, and this one's coming to Windows 10 and Xbox as well.
Yep.
So cool. They announced it right afterwards, like, hey, it's coming to both. So cool. Like I said,
it looks like. Oh, go ahead. Sorry. It looks like the story that, at least from what it was like showing us, like even like cinematic titles, was that it looks like this guy, or I guess the protagonist, didn't really get. He maybe died too soon. And guys, this is all speculation. Maybe he died too soon, because it was almost like find a new ending or something like that. And it looks like he's almost trying to redeem himself.
Yeah, I'm not sure, because these stories can get super intricate, like the character connections. That's where it also gets pretty deep with Yakuza, because there's like a lot of history between all these characters. The decisions that are made have created certain plot lines later in games that we only found out about later releases. Like, Yakuza 0 came out after Yakuza 3, so you get to see prequels and such like that happen, and then like kind of fills this whole story. So I think this is just another entry there. I'm not, like I said, I'm not the biggest of like experts on this, but I think you're probably around the right track. Like, and by the way, this is also the thing about it. This game doesn't take itself, like, it's serious, but it doesn't also take itself serious. Like, my man just pulled a bat out of the concrete like it was freaking Excalibur. Like, look at this. Look at how over the top this is. This is the point of Yakuza. This is why it's fire, because I'm like, bro, like, you think it's like, yo, this is so serious. It is so gameplay. It is so making fun of itself at the same time. It is like dude, there was a crab.
Yeah, that was a crab.
Yeah, exactly. Look at this. Like, just look at this. You think this game takes itself seriously? We got satellite beams being shot down. Like, see, exactly. That's the point of it. If you know, like, there is some seriousness to it. Like, the fighting and some of the little messages in it are actually like pretty cool. But then at the same time, it's like, all right, now let's have fun. Let's go do karaoke.
Okay.
Like, which you can't. You can be a Yakuza boss and just like do karaoke, own a karaoke club, like muscle people in or muscle people out. Like, it's all kinds of stuff.
Sounds
it's
like a unique experience. Maybe I'll try it.
Yeah, no, definitely, absolutely. I am going to actually see what I have on Steam right now, and see if I can start like running through this so I can kind of be ready for this. But they're long. Like, especially if you're watching cutscenes, like, they're a little bit of an investment. But if you're used to grinding it out, then I have no doubts you'll be able to make it through. All right, so past Yakuza Like a Dragon, we have Scorn. This was weird, man. Talk about making people feel uncomfortable. I've never seen so much ooze in chat, or gross in chat.
Bro.
Yeah. So this was all right. So
the character models alone. Yeah, give me the premise, because I know nothing about Scorn.
Oh no, I was gonna say the premise is I have no premise. My premise of it is like I have no idea about the game.
Our buddy Griff was like, "This looks like Scorn." And I was like, "How do you know that?"
Yeah.
But it looks insane, like gross insane too.
So it's definitely survival horror, first person adventure game. Very much in the H.R. Geiger, as you can tell. Like that. At first, everyone was like, "Yo, Alien." And I was like, well, yeah, I could kind of see it, like, because of just the way it looks. And Alien, once again, has some H.R. Geiger, like, parts implemented or, shown. That I still don't get. I don't know what the fuck that was.
I don't understand. I'm sorry. Like, it was like peeing or something. Weird.
Dude, I was just like these shots. Whoever these shots was like, how can I make everyone very, like, uncomfortable from the rip? And it's just like, I don't know what that shot served as a purpose. But to make you feel that way, making you feel weird, making you just be like, ugh, right?
Uncomfortable, which I guess is, I mean, obviously that's part of setting the atmosphere, right? Like,
yeah, I guess so. So Quick, this is just like a quick summary that I was able to actually just pull up.
Okay.
On the gameplay. The player controls a strange, skinless humanoid lost in a nightmarish world filled with odd creatures and tapestries, resembling a living techno-organic structure composed of steel, flesh, and bone. Hence, the H.R. Geiger kind of inspiration.
Yep.
The player will explore different interconnected regions in a non-linear fashion, searching for answers that will explain more about the game's world. So the game thus far presents two main weapons, a pistol and a shotgun. The player starts with a pistol. What you got?
Somebody commented. So COVID-19.
Yeah, COVID-19. The
Not
game.
in chat, but like when we were watching it earlier.
Yeah.
Okay,
my
go ahead.
God,
sorry.
that's so grody.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, it's how can I say this? For me, I'm playing it. I'm very intrigued because I'm just like, ugh. It's like one of those things where you're like, ugh, I'm disgusted, but I can't look away. It's one of those. It's just like, ew. Yeah. You take a photo of it afterwards. You're like, okay. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling about it. I haven't seen the gameplay of it, but this is just a summary that I pulled up. I'm kind of very interested in seeing where this came from. Okay. Yeah, so it was first announced, funny enough, it was first announced in 2014.
Really?
Yeah, 2014, and began full production in 2015. Yeah, there's definitely a history of that, because I did see Scorn in the chat as well, and I was like, how did how
do people know?
Yeah, I wonder if I would recognize it if I saw the original trailer for it.
Well, there was a teaser trailer in 2016.
That's what I'm saying. I need to double check and see what that trailer was, because I probably will recognize it from that. Yeah. Because this was obviously clearly new, and it probably has changed the look, or it might even look better than it did before. So that's why it's like it seems like it's a completely new game to me. But yeah, Scorn. Wait, Mark. I don't know what time marker that was on the conference, but the moment where everybody on that was watching was like, ugh, okay, where's Assassin's Creed? All right, and that leads us to the next part. So we kind of went the one side of the spectrum of making you feel uncomfortable, or making you just look at something and make you seem uncomfortable, or rather just grossed out. Yeah. Now we're gonna go into the medium, which is the opposite side, where this is more psychological, where everything looks normal, but we're about to really mess with you.
Hectic Green in chat said the medium's concept is wicked.
So before we even went through all this, before we even went through this trailer, I had already, as soon as I saw the parts of Another World getting shown, I was just like, Silent Hill. And then come to find out, the composer from Silent Hill is working on this, which I was just like, yes. So Blooper is the studio that's creating this. They're based out of Poland. So the medium and they have a history of doing other horror games. If you look at the actual projects that they've worked on before, they've gotten the Blair Witch, Layers of Fear, Observer, Observer System Redux, and Layers of Fear 2, of course. So Blair Witch was the last one they worked on. Observer's coming out holiday this year, the System Redux as well as medium. So they specialize in horror. And go on.
What got me, because they did the post-show interviews.
Yes.
And what really resonated with me with this was, they were listing all of these games that they were like, okay, what did Blair Witch do well?
Yes. Yeah.
What did this do well? And they're like, how can we make it different?
Yes.
But better.
They are definitely.
And I was like, okay.
They are definitely fans, and funny enough, they were tripping out because they're like, we couldn't believe that they were able to get the composer from Silent Hill to work on this project, collab with it.
Which is
Silent Hill, because Silent Hill 2 to this day still is one of the best psychological horror games that have ever existed. And they went in and talk about how each of their games had a special way of or a message in there, when it comes to the Observer, it was how much, I think it was the Observer, it was how much how much could you take away if your mind is digitized or your body parts are being taken away and they become robotic? Like at one point do you call yourself human still, right? Where's the line in that? The other one, layers of fear, was about like how much would you sacrifice for your family? Would you sacrifice everything, or would you sacrifice to gain?
Crazy,
so
man.
it's all psychological. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
So medium, the way this one is being set up is that you are a medium that can kind of communicate between these worlds or not only just the worlds, but see other things. Like you can meet someone that's nice on the street, right? But then because I think Mary Ann is her name of the protagonist, and she can see like true intentions or what they're not their thoughts. Not necessarily thinking of like, I can read your mind, but I can see like this your real inner self, right? And you could be like a person that's really nice, but then you're really a killer, right? But she sees these visions. This is like what she sees.
And you can interact with another dimension.
Yes, and so she goes to solve these things, and then now she's getting plagued. At this point in the game, she's getting plagued with this vision of like, I'm not sure if it's destruction or murder or just overall death, but that's what this part is supposed to kind of show you. It's like what it all is. What she's
it looks like she's getting like flashbacks of maybe she had a stillborn or something.
Yeah, that part they didn't kind of go into in that post interview or all the way up to what I saw. But she seems to be on a mission to figure out why it's being tied to this particular building. So hence, there's a little bit of sprinklings of like Silent Hill, right? Because now the building itself, as soon as I heard that, I was like, okay, is the building gonna be a character? Like, and what I mean by character is like, it's gonna be this omnipotent being that's gonna always show up and pull you in, pull you out, but it doesn't have any actual physical form. You just know it's a place. So I'm like, okay, very much remnants of the Silent Hill. I'm just wondering how they're gonna accomplish that through gameplay. That's my biggest thing is how's the gameplay going to help emphasize that message there. So very interesting, and it's also funny enough, it's set in Poland. It's actually set in the city that Blooper is at, and it's set during the 80s and 90s, while they were still under the regime, at the time. And the director talks about it, which is really, really interesting, because at that time there was a lot of like oppression and no freedom of speech. So they were able to kind of create this very bleak atmosphere that I think is going to help emphasize like what they're trying to do on the the super psychological part, and the part that's going to be like pulling you to this other world to kind of just show you like some super dark stuff.
So my question to you is like, in my opinion, like let's say like Outlast and stuff like that, like what characteristics should a psychological horror game have? You know what I mean? Like, that's a crazy question to ask, but like
it's for me, it's a good psychological game is the one that has you questioning your values and your morality with what your decisions would be in the game, right? Like
it's brilliant. Yeah.
Silent Hill 2 is, I could go on a whole thesis about that game, as to like spoilers if you guys haven't played it. Well, I don't want to spoil it because actually it's a really good freaking game. So you should play the game. If you haven't played Silent Hill 2, you should play, because there's just a lot of these themes that are in there that just show a lot about a character, like the actual character that is the protagonist, and like from their journey from beginning to end, the revelations, and then your thoughts on that character. Like different games do it in different ways. Morality, like I said, like all their different games are supposed to show those pieces or have like kind of like a little sprinklings of it somewhere there. I keep saying sprinklings and I keep doing this like I'm the salt guy. I don't know why, but I must be hungry. Like I gotta season some. But like their layers of fear, like Blair Witch or Observer, they all have like different themes about it. Like that's what makes a good psychological game. There's their scare game. There's like the jump scare games. You're like, this is crazy outlandish Outlast kind of deal where you're just like in a very spooky place, someone's gonna murder you. Like that's like layer one, right? But then there's like there's the other layers that you can throw on top of it, which is what these guys really specialize in creating, those kinds of atmospheres. But the medium, definitely something I'm looking forward to. Once again, once I heard the composer from Silent Hill was gonna be in there, I was just like, oh my god.
Oh, I wanted to touch on that. I wanted to touch on that because what blows my mind, and we were kind of chatting about the composer in our chat this morning when we were watching this, like, you've got to be some kind of sick in the head to be able to create an atmosphere through your music that makes people feel uncomfortable, right? Like, I just wonder what goes on in the head of somebody like that. I mean, everybody speaks very highly of him. Like, apparently he's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I
mean, obviously, most composers are very smart.
very much more talented than these two jugheads here. Yes, absolutely, on every level. But it's just, it's just all about how you're gonna be able to touch the human soul and get them to feel a certain way by a certain tonality and just the premise and what that kind of emotion. How can you pull that from somebody, right? Like that's like what their masters at. That's what a composer like that just knows. It's like, the tension in the air, or what you're trying to envelop them in. Is it tension? Is it horror? Is it mystery?
God, I'm so excited.
And then you wrap all that up into a note or two, and then you're just like, you drop the mic. Literally, maybe you drop the mic down the hallway, it makes a weird sound, and it gets you scared. I don't know.
And I'm a sucker for music too, so it'll resonate with me for real though. Like, oh baby, I'm so excited. I think this might be the game that I'm most excited for.
Yeah, that's definitely one of them for me. I think Scorn, I am very curious. All right, Scorn, I'm the most curious about.
Okay.
But Medium is what I think I am most excited for. But here's here's the post. Right before we kind of like wrap up. Here's like just post outs as well. No Assassin's Creed gameplay. No,
kind of bummed about that.
which
is why we're not really talking about it too much right now.
Which I thought, they kind of dove into more of the story a little bit. Talked about the character and what they did allude to certain gameplay features, raids. You're gonna be talking to kings. You're gonna be making alliances and stuff. I'm like, okay.
Yep. They talked about the time period.
The time period and all. Yes, exactly. I'm just kind of like, huh. It's a little strange. And then a little bit about the protagonist. He sees the bird, the raven, and it's like, oh, Odin is with us, right? And it's just like, and he eventually has like, the bird on his. I don't know if it was raven. Right. Was it an eagle? It didn't look like an eagle. But
it looked like a raven.
Odin, I believe his is an eagle. Like that's his symbol. But yeah, so they alluded a little bit of it, but no gameplay. So that was a bit let down for me. I was actually excited to see that, and I believe there was like another game that we thought we were going to see. Was it Halo?
Well, we thought we were going to see Cyberpunk.
Oh, Cyberpunk. There we go.
They said Halo's coming in July. Like you're going to see Halo.
Yes,
in July.
yes. 343 Studios. We'll have something coming out. Yes. Cyberpunk. Nothing on Cyberpunk either. So.
However, that game is rated M. That what's it? ESRB?
The ESRB.
Yes. They did come out with that, and just real quick,
as it should
rated
be.
M. The developer literally said, "We don't fuck around," like quote, and we can dive more into it like on Tuesday, but yeah, rated
overall,
M.
yeah, we would love to hear what you guys think. What your games are like the winners? What are they like like they're 5, cool. No, I've never been a big racing guy or car guy when it comes to games.
Right.
Outside of like Cruising USA, Cruising the World, those are my joints.
Midnight Club always.
Midnight Club, Need for Speed Underground 2. God, I'm old. But what are your winners? What are your losers? We would love to hear from you guys. Feel free to tweet at NerdStreetGamers at NERDST on Twitter. We want to find out. You can tag us. Of course, you can find me at CrashTagVS. Actually, I just realized up to now, my tag, that's incorrect. I forgot to put the VS at the end. That's cool. I'll blame the graphics guy. That's me.
They've been tweeting.
It's cool. It's all good.
They've been tweeting at the wrong person.
but Alex's is correct right down here. Yep. Sir Skrillex. Feel free to tweet at him. Tag us. Feel what you guys like, what you don't like. We want to hear from you guys, of course. And that's actually going to be it. Your day is now... Well, your lunch break is over. It's now been loaded up. The rest of the day has been loaded up. Thank you very much for hanging out. We will be back on Tuesday. Remember, this show does go live every Tuesday and Thursday at 11. Today was a little special circumstance, but, we really wanted to talk about these games. But thanks a lot for hanging out, and we'll see you guys next week. Later.
Hey, guys. Peace.